And welcome to another episode of the Kayfabe Comparisons Podcast. It's your boy, Wex breaking the Lawson, coming to you live once again, and we are with the absence of Mr. Know-It-All Daniel John Schaefer. He's out at Disney World or some shit with his kids, having a good time. But we got your boy, the patron saint of the rock block, used to be, but now he's down there in Wartrace, Tennessee, raising hell and taking names, and that's your boy, Jesse Baker. What's up, dude?
Oh, man, just chilling. Super excited about this week. We got a guest-heavy episode this week. I'm super stoked. And top 5 tag teams, I mean, who can ask for more? I'm into it.
Yeah, and then we have a special guest who was on here a few weeks ago, Miss Jessica Rosenberg. How you doing?
I am what they say, Livin.
I can feel that. I'm feeling that. And we got some other special guests popping up later here once we get into the meat and taters of the show. But we're going to go ahead and start it off with, like, kind of a current events shit, what's going on here. And did anybody happen to catch Extreme Rules last week? I caught the main event and the return of Bray Wyatt, and just that alone was pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
I did too. I mean, the first match really was to me, the biggest one. I mean, the Walter and Co. versus the Brawling Brutes, that was a fucking banger. It was absolutely great. To me, it kind of made the show. I thought the main event and the thing with Bray coming back, I mean, yes, it was a moment, don't get me wrong, but it was kind of the match in and of itself was super convoluted. Cormier, like, that was just such a weird addition to me, and it kind of took away from the match in a lot of ways. And I kind of wish that the debut had been more, like, impactful. I love the cliffhanger, though. I mean, that's something that's not really done in wrestling as much these days. There were some decent matches in the show. Overall, I mean, the very first and the very last were the thing to do. So,
okay, I might have to go back and check out that big brawl between the Brutes and Walter Gunther, whatever the fuck he's called now these days. But sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't catch Raw this week, but I definitely heard a lot of good things. Raw's still way too long for me, 3 hours on a Monday night, not ready for it. So did you guys catch any of that? Is there anything significant that you saw? Because I heard the vibes, that new Triple H era, the whole DX reunion, and a bunch of other, like, just stuff on the card I heard was good.
They had me standing at least once. I popped like a motherfucker twice, which has not happened for me during Raw in a long time. I mean, I watched it based on the rumors that wound up coming true.
Good brothers. My
big homies, Big LG and the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson, coming back. And as soon as AJ came out, I was like, yep, it's happening. And my girlfriend is, like, very confused on the couch watching me stand up in anticipation of that moment occurring. And, they played it out. They look big, mean, and ready to fucking roll. And I guess they're going to be probably in a War Games match, as the rumor, in Survivor Series now. So,
ooh.
Looking forward to that. I thought they did a good job on Raw this week, man. I mean, there were a lot of surprises and stuff, and that's something that WWE and USA Network mutually need,
I agree. Well, that's pretty fucking sick. I did happen to actually catch AEW Dynamite this week, and there's a lot of really good matches just like last week. Like, a lot of good in-ring work. Maybe some of the storyline booking stuff maybe not have been the best. But, dude, like Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus, the Jericho versus Danielson match was fucking fantastic. Orange Cassidy versus Pac, or like, I always say, whatever the fuck you want to call that dude. And that fucking Hangman Adam Page promo, that was probably the best thing of the show. Like, it was pretty fucking solid. He's the man.
I did not see it yet. That's on my list to do after the show today.
Let me tell you, if you're going to watch anything, catch that promo.
Duly noted.
And the wrestling, too. Like, the matches that I mentioned, and, like, I'm sure even you might like some different stuff on there, but, like, dude, those matches were pretty fucking solid. Hopefully they can get past this whole, goddamn backstage bullshit, because even though the match has been great, I'm still missing the Elite. I'm missing Kenny and the Bucks. Like, it's all Elite wrestling. Without them, it just kind of feels a little weird.
I mean, well, I guess we'll see what happens there. But
I will say I got a little bit of inside sources from somebody who's very close to AEW, and they've already mentioned how there's some legal trouble that's that's halting everything. It's CM Punk and his lawyers are all bullshit. I see y'all laughing over here, but I know some motherfuckers. I mean, I'm like 2 people.
No,
actually.
we're not laughing at that at all.
No. Our special guests coming up are just popping us over here is what's happening.
Oh, okay. They're fucking with me or fucking with you. But, I mean, seriously, I mean, it could happen. It could fucking possibly happen.
You know,
There's
we'll
a
see
lot
what
of
goes on.
things that need to happen that I want to happen between like WWE and then also like what you want to see in AEW. Like there's lots of things in the brain that are like, I really hope it goes this way.
Yeah, I just want the legal shit to go ahead and get over with. Like if CM Punk isn't going to wrestle anymore or whoever they're going to fire, go ahead and get it over with.
Bye. Like I could live the rest of my life without ever seeing CM Punk ever again. He's a bitch and I'm over his shit.
I 100% agree. I've never even been that big of a fan of him anyways. Like when he was in WWE, like he had some cool shit and I went back and watched his Ring of Honor stuff. It's cool or whatever. And he had some pretty solid matches in AEW, but I've never been like just a Punk fan, like a Punk guy. So like him leaving, like I've always known he's like had a shitty attitude. Like who cares? Good riddance. You're owed,
some of the news,
owed and beat up like you said. I don't care. Gone.
Something to bring up, I guess, is Renee Paquette for some reason.
Oh, yes. That's a very important thing. She debuted in AEW, making her return to pro wrestling and starting off with a nice little interview, which I like her better as a backstage like segment interview person more than commentary.
I mean, yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I like that.
They kind of forced her on commentary in WWE, and it wasn't that great. But her as an interviewer, she's one of the best ones.
Just curious about AEW spending all their money on like non-wrestling talent and, you know, not necessarily really pushing the rest of the wrestling talent past a certain point unless they've already been pushed. And that seems to be a trend here lately. And that kind of scares me a little bit. But
well, yeah. Well, hey, at least Orange Cassidy finally got a championship because he's been over like Rover since the fucking beginning. So maybe that'll be something.
Well, everybody will have one before it's all said and done. So
one day, everybody gets a chance at the belt. That's the whole thing. Like, you get salty because, oh, this guy isn't getting pushed and this guy, but like everybody can't be on the top at the same time. And if you hot potato shit, yeah, and if you hot potato like the belt too many times, it doesn't mean anything. So like, you just gotta wait your time. Wait till it's time to get that push. It's all about timing.
Well, I want to go back to one other topic real quick because I do think that there's some scuttlebutt here that's interesting. With the Good Brothers debuting in the WWE and Carl Anderson still being
the never open weight champion, yep.
That's interesting. That's something that they have not let really go down before, and that intrigues me just because we've seen a lot of stuff that we all thought WWE would never do happen here within the last few weeks, and it makes me wonder: are there going to be some collabs that we don't see coming?
Hey, they have not canceled his title defense against Hikuleo, whatever you want to fucking call him. They haven't canceled that yet, so all I'm saying is it could still happen. And Triple H is more of the dude who's going to let you complete your commitments and your dates more than a Vince McMahon. So I think that's pretty cool.
Well, it makes sense for WWE at this point, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So that's pretty much the main meat and taters in the news. If you can think of anything else significant happening this week, I can't really.
I think it's been a pretty tame week. I mean, pretty much all the news happened on TV, except for all the backstage kerfuffle bullshit and stuff like Andrade, which I don't really think a lot of people care too much about. We do have AAA Triple Mania 30 coming up here in a couple of days. I think that some people have eyes on making that into something to have seen. I don't know how many people will watch it live, but I'm sure you're going to want to go back and see that. Just with all the scuttlebutt in AEW, I think that's going to be an important show. Yeah,
I'll probably catch it at some point, but nothing can ever beat fucking Vampiro at fucking Triple Mania.
Did you guys hear about what Edge is going to do now?
Oh, he's acting in some shit. Yeah, right?
Well, yeah, so Percy Jackson was a novel, and then it got made into a couple of movies, and now they're doing, I think it's like Disney Plus is doing a series, and he's going to be on it. Yeah, yeah. So I won't say who he is or anything, but that got announced, so I'm just like, oh, this makes so much sense. And I'm like, all right, that's could be cool, and I'm glad,
less stress on that neck.
Less stress on the neck, and then, Beth got to pop in the ring, which was awesome, so I'm glad that happened, and we'll see what he's going to be like in that.
Maybe there's a little tie-in. Maybe there's some Percy Jackson in the old WWE,
Oh, that would be awesome.
I don't know.
Percy Jackson versus God versus Vince McMahon, three-way. God,
yeah, like a Titan
God
versus
get his win back.
Like Zeus and shit.
It's called the Heck in a Cell.
Yeah, I think God needs to get his win back. He's lost at least 3 times, and like he should at least get one win. I mean, he's God, right?
I suppose so. It depends
Maybe
on
he'll
who's
just
right.
win in the end.
Yeah, that's some good shit. But I think it's time to go ahead and get to the real deal of this episode, and that is our top 5 favorite tag teams of all time. And got the little WWE Tag Team Championship in the background if you can see the video, trying to get on brand. But I'm going to go ahead and let Jesse introduce our special guest for this top 5.
We are super happy to have back some of our brothers from some of Wex and I's random wrestling adventures. One of the top tag teams in the Indies currently, the illustrious, great grandsons of Frank Gotch, the Gotch brothers. How you guys doing?
Hey,
What up?
how are you?
Chilling.
Gagged on my eyewear earlier.
Do what now?
Did you deep throat it to clean it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Effective.
That's one
Still
way.
hurts my
That's
throat.
one way to say it.
By the way, before we get started, I need to address the elephant in the room. I stand by my decision. How I Met Your Mother is better than The Office.
You know.
Okay, I will say, after some
agree.
consideration and some thinking about it, your argument isn't too far off because The Office, they had a
It's
few,
good.
at least 2 to 3, 4 seasons that weren't really that good.
There's only there's two.
It was 2 seasons after Michael Scott left, and it was
and then
one
9,
episode of How I
season
Met Your Mother.
9. Season 9, they had to make it up. It was 3 episodes of How I Met Your Mother, but still.
But I will give you that. They had a more solid, consistent run. And I know The Office really isn't for everybody. And How I Met Your Mother is just, I feel like it's a little bit more accessible.
I love The
And
Office.
it's good.
Was there a spinoff of The Office?
Not yet, but apparently
Without How I Met Your Mother,
There would be no How I Met Your Father. It is garbage.
there would be no Cobra Kai.
That is true too. That is true too.
Okay, I'll
Because
give you
he
that.
is the real Karate Kid.
Okay.
There
No,
wouldn't be.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
All right, I'll give you that. I was a little upset at first, but then I thought about it. As long as you're not saying it's better than Seinfeld, it's all right.
Well, Seinfeld is the one that inspired all.
Without
the shows.
Seinfeld, there'd be nothing.
There'd be no
All
Office.
right, cool. All right, great.
Right,
I
we're
love
good.
that.
probably just wouldn't be television in general.
Yeah.
I
Fair.
think
But all right, I guess you want to go ahead and do you want to start us off, Jesse, with number 5 and the first of our top 5 favorite tag teams?
I will, and I want to throw out that the Gotches were a little bit more prepared than I was, and they also prepped, and we'll do this at the end of the countdown, but they also prepped their top indie tag team. So Wex and Jessica, I'll give you guys time over the course of the top 5 to do some thinking if you have one, and we can do that outside of the top 5 at the very tail end. I already have mine, so we'll see what happens. But top 5 tag teams of all time. A lot of people probably thought this would rank a little bit higher on my end. My number 5 is going to have to go to Mr. Jeff and Mr. Matt, the Hardy Boys.
Number 5?
They're number 5 of all time to me, and hey, it's top 5. So,
It's your personal favorite. So I get it.
yeah, of course. But you got to go. I mean, it's number 5. That's still rarefied air. I mean, this is a long fucking list if you're thinking about tag teams of all time. And I obviously. Not enough could be said about the Hardys and the way that they revolutionized. That should be a term probably, but revolutionized how tag team wrestling was done at that time. They showed off a completely different style and physique to a mainstream audience and went out of their way to encapsulate that audience, not without the help of people like Edge and Christian and the Dudleys, don't get me wrong, but there were people that automatically, when they hit the screen, they resonated with the audience. And there was never really a match for the first several years they were on TV that I didn't want to watch or that I regretted watching. I was thoroughly enthused. I don't think anybody can argue that they're Hall of Fame talent, and could still be as long as Jeff would get his shit together. But it is what it
Their
is.
run on the Indies when they left WWE, the run on the Indies was incredible.
Oh my God,
Before they went back, absolutely crazy.
massively influential on a lot of things that wound up being on TV too. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like 110%. So my number 5 of all time, the Hardy Boys. And I'm going to kick it first to our very special guests, the Gotch brothers, for their number 5 tag team.
What we got?
We had the Dudleys at number 5.
That's a good choice.
I mean, they ran ECW for all those years. But they had like 30 Dudleys, right?
Not just that. They had how many WWE titles? How many TNA titles? How many ECW titles?
And
Everywhere
New
we go,
Japan.
New Japan. They've got the most tag team titles ever of any tag team.
Their work, the dichotomy between the two of them, absolutely solid pick.
Plus,
yeah.
I mean, Bully Ray. I love Bully Ray.
Oh yeah.
And then Devon as test. I mean, come on. Even when they went singles, they were still.
And
the best
Devon
team.
gave us Batista.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Because he was I remember that.
Ugh.
18 World Tag Team reigns to be.
Damn.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Pretty nuts. We got, all right, top 5. Dudley's for the Gotch boys. Jessica.
Ooh, me? Okay, so it's the Headbangers.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow.
Look, if they were that age in AEW now,
2, 4,
that shit would be amazing. The 90s is so fucking right now again. Like, all of that shit would have gone over so well. I think they were ahead of their times. Or even if they had started a little bit later in the Attitude Era, that they would have gotten a better push. I mean, the Cornette developed them. You know what I mean? Like, classic. They beat the Hardy Boys in Nashville. Like, so, like, you know, I remember watching that. I remember, like, seeing those dudes and, like, you know, now that I think about some of the guys that I dated, it makes sense. You know what I mean? So, like, anytime wrestlers turn heel and just start doing drag, I'm into it. And they had one of the most classic merch. Real Men Wear Skirts shirts. Like, I mean, like,
So Vito.
top 5. Mwah, mwah.
It's a hot take.
That is.
All right, all right.
I did not expect that one.
The Madonna bra era was a little strange for me. I was always wondered how they could wrestle in something like that, but you know, each their own. Wexley,
Plus, Oz has
number
a really
5.
good attitude about everything that's happened in his life. So.
Yes.
Plus,
All right, then. So coming in at number 5 for me is the longest reigning WWE World Tag Team Champions of all time, and that's the fucking New Day. They have, in modern fucking tag team wrestling, like ever since, like when I really got heavy back into it in like 2014 after taking like 2 to 3 years off, like, oh, wrestling is whack in the late 2010s. Or like, you know, that 2010, 2011, 2012 era. It was garbage, so I was out of it. But the New Day, revitalizing that Freebird rule, and they took a gimmick that was kind of forced upon them that didn't really work, and they made it fucking work. And they have, dude, all of them individually are so fucking good. And like we've talked about on this podcast before, Xavier Woods is the best out of those 3. He's the fucking gem. He's underrated, like wrestling talent wise. And just personality, everything. He is the dude, and everything about them, like, just, dude. I have the tag team title in the background. Used to have the poster with the old crib hooked up with it, but haven't really put everything up here. But those 3 dudes and everything they've done, just fucking fantastic. Coming in at number 5 for me, the New Day.
fair.
Number 5 tag team all time for your boy Wex.
Do you have a preferential combination of the 3 in terms of the tag team?
I don't know. It's unique combinations are great. Like I love Woods and Big E, but Woods and Kofi also works great, and Kofi and Big E is still pretty cool. I mean, I feel like depending on what the story or the storyline or the feud is, you can kind of interchange them, and that's what's beautiful about the New Day. That Freebird rule, you never know what you're going to get.
There you go.
Rule.
Unless someone's injured, then you know exactly what you're going to get. But besides that,
It was hard not to include them.
Well, my number 4, strongly related, is actually the Fabulous Freebirds.
ooh, okay.
For much of the same reason of the innovation, especially with the Freebird rule aspect, but innovation just kind of in general. And, I mean, you can't really get much more heat in a territory than a guy like Michael Hayes, both in front of and behind the camera. You know, I mean, the advent of the music, the advent of the glitz and glam thing, they just did it in a way that a lot of tag teams weren't dared to do because the tag teams doing it took away from the other guys sometimes. Whereas with the Freebirds, I don't necessarily think that it did. I really thought that, you know, Hayes always sort of being the focus of it really enhanced the talent, you know. But, I mean, I just think the Freebirds are inarguably, like, kind of set a trail for a lot of other people to follow in many, many, many ways. And the Freebird rule, obviously, I mean, come on, they got a fucking rule named after them. You got to love that.
Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be custom entrance music. So
Truth. Absolute. Love it.
Joey fact.
Joey's not this fully stupid, brother.
Good old Bad Street, man. Classic.
Oh man, they even had a music video.
I believe they were the first to do that too.
Yes, I mean,
Got to
All
get
right.
to the
Is it our turn? Number 4.
Number 4 from the Gotch brothers.
Forsky.
Joey.
Usos.
Oh, okay.
Hard to argue.
They just what they've accomplished, and there's nothing like a brother tag team.
So, like, within the last, we can agree between 08 and 2013, 14 those were rough years for WWE.
And for tag team wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
14 is when things changed.
Usos, I mean, from the minute they debuted to, I mean, up and now, they're still, I mean, they're incredible. It's a dream match that any tag team working in any promotion anywhere across the country, even
Number one.
trash promotions up in West Tennessee, they all dream of working the Usos. I mean, it's
If you're a tag team and you don't want to work the Usos, then you're not a real tag team.
yeah.
There's just nothing
incredible.
about that. I mean,
I can dig it. Solid number 4 from the Gotch brothers, the Usos. Number 4, Miss Jessica Rosenberg.
I have a tie.
Okay.
There's a reason. And that reason is Jimmy, the Mouth of the South Heart. So he managed both of these teams around the same time. One of them, he completely changed their look, turned them into blondes, made them wear black and gold. I am talking about the Glamour Girls.
Ah.
And so Judy Martin and Leilani, they were AJWPW. So they oversaw the training of Sherry, who we talked about the last time I was on. In WWF, they were in the first Royal Rumble, and they actually got screwed over by Moolah because she wasn't getting a cut of their shit, which actually...
Was that a shoot or real? I'm sorry.
No, for real. And so, like, because of that, they told, like, hey, at the end of their Japan tour, they're supposed to win the titles, which WWF was like, no, we didn't do that. So there was all that really cool drama, which is, fuck Moolah. And then, so at the same time, which I would feel most people would think it should be higher on the list, is the Hart Foundation, the original Hart Foundation. So with them, I mean, obviously iconic, the both of them, both Jim and Brett, 2-time WWF tag team champs. They were in WrestleMania 2. They were beaten by Andre the Giant out in a Royal Rumble. They were the last 3 standing, and of course that giant beautiful man took them out. And then lastly, like, what I think was really cool is that by WrestleMania 7, Hart was managing the Nasty Boys, and the Nasty Boys beat the Hart Foundation to take the title away, and that was the last time they were champs. And that's when Brett started to focus on his solo career.
I can dig it. OG Hart Foundation and the Glamour Girls. I see. Wexley, numero 4.
Okay, coming in at number 4 for me are the 10-time WCW World Tag Team Champions, and I think you know who I'm talking about, and that's motherfucking Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray. And dude, I mean, what more can I say? Sensei or Sister Sherry at the time managing them. Dude, they went on such a great fucking run, and that's literally what put Booker T over to, like, let him go into his 5-time WCW World Championships, his few WWE World Championships. And Stevie Ray, I know, never really got the due that he deserved because he was good in his own right. But you're what's up? What's up?
they were on number 6.
Number 6?
Okay.
Oh, so that's your honorable mention, basically. It's right out of the top 10. But I mean, dude, they were so good together and so many classic matches. A lot of garbage matches too that they had to get put through early in their career against people like fucking Public Enemy and a lot of other like garbage hardcore matches. They had to deal with a lot of bullshit early in their career to get to where they were, and they put in the work and just so many classic moments. You know, the Booker T N-word slip classic. That's a Harlem Heat moment. Like so much iconic shit. And Harlem Heat 2000 with Ahmad Johnson was whack. I'll just go ahead and put that out there. And Ahmad Johnson was just he's one of my least favorite wrestlers of all time. Even though his finisher, it was sick. I'll give it to him. But besides that, yeah, Harlem Heat coming in for me at number 5 or number 4. On my top 5 tag teams of all time. Four time.
All right, number 3 in my world has to go to one half of the legendary Four Horsemen, and I'm talking about the Brainbusters. It's got to be Arn and Tully, man. There's something about the way that those guys worked. I did specifically love the Brainbusters run in WWF, but I just think them as a tag team in general is pretty exemplary of what, like, just classic roughneck, non-stardom, non-glitz, non-glamour tag team real wrestling should have been in that era. And going back and watching any Brainbusters match or any match with Arn and Tully tagging, I still think to this day holds up. I'm glad that neither one of them was more active in the ring recently than we thought that they were going to be, because that would have been dog shit. But it was absolutely fucking classic for its day. So my number 3 definitely goes to Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. Number 3 from the Gotch Bros. What do we got?
All right. Silver medal.
No, this is
the bronze medal.
Bronze, my dude.
I went one early. Bronze. Sorry.
Give you a pass.
I jumped the gun a bit.
Our number 3 will be 2 people that would be on most people's Mount Rushmore of top 4 pro wrestler of all time, and that's the Mega Powers.
Woo.
So Savage and Hogan.
You got such powerful names behind the two.
I mean,
they were together for such a short time, but
it made tag team wrestling interesting at
a
time when tag wrestling was not interesting.
Not to mention the build alone.
That storyline alone, the Miss Elizabeth thing,
the storyline was so a year in the making.
Started my love for wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, the handshake.
The
handshake. Oh.
Yeah. Recreate that. Every one of my friends and just. Yeah, I mean it's.
Even though I did not watch that shit till later in my life, because I'm a little bit younger.
You went back and watched.
Fuck. That's so impactful, so powerful.
Because of the names that were involved.
100%. I love it. I dig it. Number 3 from the Gotch Brothers, the Mega Powers, which moves us on to Jessica. Number 3, bronze medal.
My bronze is... Get the tables. It's the Dudley Boys.
Gotch is trying to correct. Number 5.
Hey, I'll go ahead and say that's my number 3 also, the Dudley Boys.
I mean, I picked him for 3 because 3D, duh. My boyfriend actually was like, they have to be your number 3. And I was like, oh, fuck, you're right. They are also between all of the promotions that they work for. Pardon?
Does your boyfriend look like Jeff Hardy?
No, my boyfriend actually looks like Devon, and I dressed as Bubba Ray for Halloween.
Fair.
Oh,
I made this shirt.
That's
great.
I'll send you pictures. So between all of their promotions, they're 18 world tag team. They have 18 world tag team reigns as well. And they are the only tag team to hold a WWF, WWE, ECW, WCW, NWA, TNA, and IWGP championships.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of letters.
And since they're also my number 3 pick, I mean, you've pretty much covered their fucking accomplishments, but the time that I started watching wrestling, like I started watching literally like 1998 was the year. So like by 99, 2000, they were like so impactful, like that, the TLC matches with the Hardys, Edge and Christian, like they were so fucking cool and so different, like so completely different than any other tag team at the time. And then I, of course, found out about their ECW history later and all that stuff. But dude, and like you said, just Bully Ray's solo runs alone, fucking fantastic. And like I mentioned, Devon Dudley, the original manager for Batista, who went on to be fucking bigger than wrestling. Like, dude, so many. And dude, till this day, the crowd pops for like Devon, get the tape. Like, dude, even though people try to say, oh, Public Enemy, they were the first guys to really use the tables or this and that. But dude, fuck that. The Dudley Boys are the table guys. And I'm going to leave it at that. So let's go ahead and pass it back over to your boy Jesse. And I guess we're going to get actually into the silver that I jumped the gun on.
I got to make a little bit of a note about the Dudleys. One big thing, too. I always like to go back to the importance in our specific age ranges about the wrestling video games at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And there is no argument that incorporating a 3D into wrestling video games for the first time was something that I greatly anticipated as it was happening. And I remember the first time it was on N64 and it was such a fucking difficult thing to time right and pull off. It used to piss me off so much.
You know how hard it was to get it set up with table and perfect position in WrestleMania 2000 or No Mercy? God, that was infuriating.
Yeah. Even if you have all 4 controllers hooked up and everyone working together, it's still fucking hard.
Not happening.
4 people working
on
together.
the controller. Just
yeah.
You're like, all right, I'm trying to flick it at the right time. Like,
but it was worth
hit
it.
That middle. Nope.
Yeah.
Fucking trash, but great at the same time.
But the best wrestling game of all time.
It is the best tag team.
So hopefully that new AEW game is supposed to be just like No Mercy and all that shit.
That's what they say.
WrestleMania 2000, the greatest wrestling game.
WrestleMania, same thing. I'm just saying it's supposed to be like the Aki games. It's supposed to it's supposed to be the same control style.
We'll see. We'll see.
Because I'll probably buy it. Fuck it. I buy video. I mean, if I buy Madden every year, I'll fucking buy this. You know.
Tag teams of all time, it's not greatest video games.
That's true. Moving into the silver medal for me, and this is a controversial one because a lot of people think they're clunky and they suck. But my number 2 goes to the Legion of Doom / the Road.
Oh, that's our number 2.
Well, that's good. Now we get a double discussion about it.
I left them off on purpose.
It's bound to happen on any of these top 5s. There's going to be a little bit of dipping our toes in the same water. It's okay. We all friends. But I absolutely just the look, the innovation on the gimmicks. And if you look at it now, look at it 2 guys that are like that in their personal lives, that are just big, brawling, bouncer motherfuckers, and putting them in bright neon face paint and replicating things from the specific movie that they did. And then as that gimmick evolved and as it turned into other things, I mean, one of the longest standing, again, something named after them, you got to talk about the pop and got to talk about the finish. And I'm going to pass it to the Gotches because we got the same one. So, great minds drink alike.
You've used that finish a few times. It's a rush, as they say. What a rush.
Now, what they bring to the tag team world, they completely changed. When you think of tag team wrestling, everybody thinks of at least the LOD.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Hawking.
You can.
All right.
Every Mount
So
Rushmore.
I got a question. What do you guys think about the Power Warrior and or Heidenreich?
LOG 2000.
Power Warrior's okay, but Heidenreich, nah.
No. I don't even consider Power Warrior. I don't even look at that. But I'm just going straight to LOG 2000 with Heidenreich. It was
2000 was with Sonny. 2000 was WrestleMania 14 when they had the goddamn bicycle helmets and shit.
Sorry, tequila. Yeah, no, I saw Animal wrestle at TNA Slammiversary. I don't remember 07 maybe.
Yeah, when he was like they brought him in as like an enforcer or something.
Yeah. I mean, I popped. I mean, it's.
But you got you get the team. Any Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling should have them because of the innovation that they brought.
If you're smart, you've got LOD on your tag team wrestling Mount Rushmore.
Absolutely.
If you don't know tag team wrestling, you're probably leaving. If you're smart, you've got them up there.
Should.
Absolutely. Obviously, I agree, since they were also my silver medal, which brings us to
and that's a hot take that they're a silver medal, too, because most people would put them at number 1. Even in the WWE Greatest Tag Teams of All Time video, they put them at number 1.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who your number 1s are.
I'm very curious.
Now that
I'm hoping I don't tie with y'all again because we might, but
We might.
You know us. You know who our number one is.
I mean, I don't know. We might not, but we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna pass it. Silver medal, numero dos, Miss Jessica.
So my silver medal is a little bit lower on the list that's already been said, the Hardy Boys, but specifically Broken Matt Hardy, because that shit saved wrestling. It saved wrestling for me. It brought me back. It got me hooked. I became wrestling obsessed again. I popped for it. I was an absolute Broken Matt Hardy mark. Rebby, the whole family. I loved it.
They're saying the run through the Indies after they left Impact was.
I mean,
it was incredible.
It's amazing. Like the brother Nero. I knew you'd come. Like
That's so good.
iconic. Like
I love that.
Those phrases live fucking rent free in my head. Like to this day. I mean, it hasn't been that long, but like it fucking brought me back. And I know it brought a lot of people back, and it brought a lot of attention to the Indies, which, brought them back to the spotlight. And now they're all kind of doing their thing, and Jeff needs to get his shit together. So.
And more importantly, it brought tag team wrestling back to the Indies.
Precisely.
I mean, that gimmick was just something that was so easy for everybody else to be able to kind of work with and work around, because there was so much to just that.
Just genius.
You just kind of had to dance around it and let it be what it was. The cinematic match, too. I mean, the importance behind how all that stuff was developed. And you got to give credit to Jeremy Borash as well. And just in developing those things, which would go on to be a fucking WrestleMania main event in concept. So,
yeah.
Got to give it to him. Number 2, Mr. Lawson.
I know you guys are going to hate me for this one, but my number 2 embodies my number 1, and then a bunch of stuff that basically got me into wrestling. And this team basically got me back into wrestling, and that's the Young Bucks. Yep, you guys hate me. I told you. I told you, but the Young Bucks, I know they're not traditional classic tag team pro wrestling, but they are traditional tag team classic pro wrestling.
Come back.
What?
I was telling him to come back. Come back.
I mean, dude, like pretty much I grew up Attitude Era, like loved D-Generation X. And even though they weren't really a good tag team, like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they were cool, but they weren't really a good tag team. Like, once I saw these dudes and saw how the athleticism, and they were doing the shit that I loved, got me back into wrestling. And then, dude, they're the goddamn merchandise kings. Like, what they set up is basically how every independent pro wrestler eats these days. Like, they are the ones, they're the merch kings, and they figured it out and fucking set the outline, the profile to how to do it. And just everything about them. They're so influential. I love their athleticism. I love their matches. I started watching them when they were in New Japan, in 2014, and I followed everything all the way up into now to AEW. I don't know if that makes me like bias or a mark, but I love this team. They reinvigorated pro wrestling for me. Them, Bullet Club, Prince Devitt, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, everything that was going around that time. So many, and then all these people are still active today, and just it's great. And they were the team. I don't want to just keep diving into it because I know you guys really don't care because no one likes them like I do. But that's my fucking number 2, the Young Bucks, all day, baby.
Can't say I didn't see that one coming for honest reasons. I thought that was going to be your numero uno. Really?
Nah, not my number 1.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, here we are.
Hold on. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the gold medal portion of the top 5 tag teams. My number 1 with a bullet has to be a team that I feel embodies the dynamic of traditional tag team wrestling and how to work a crowd using tag team wrestling. Pops for days, territories for days, still going, albeit not for long. That would be Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express.
Ooh, oh,
there's still just paradigms that they use both in and out of the ring that are still used to this day that were not used prior to them, especially when you think about the roles of each prospective member of the tag team. And you can't argue being that over. You can't argue the crowd believing in it that much and wanting to be a part of those guys' lives, many of whom were allegedly, and the amount of legends and everything else that goes around the mythos of that team whether some of it's real, some of it's fake, doesn't really fucking matter. It's pro wrestling. So I got to give it to Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express. Gotch boys, gold medal.
I can dig it.
If you know us, you know who our number one's going to be.
Rick and Scott.
Oh, the
There's
Steiners.
nothing like a brother tag team.
Should have seen it coming.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
There's just the Frankensteiner alone that Scott came up with is a move used all throughout professional wrestling. But the chemistry between the two of them is non-comparable. I love Ricky and Robert. I think the Rock and Roll Express is great, but the chemistry that they had to develop compared to the chemistry that the Steiners were born with is non-comparable.
Plus, they were the first legit All-American wrestlers as a tag team. I mean, wasn't one before.
Yeah, that's true.
They got their shoot. I mean, some of the matches were like with them and Chris Benoit, like when they were just the chain wrestling at the beginning, which is stupid. Just stupid, and it's so fun to watch. They changed tag team wrestling. I mean,
they were one of the higher profile American wrestlers from the period of time that they were in Japan.
Yes.
And really kind of paved the way for a lot of certain types of guys to be over there. I mean, like you could see the pageantry of the Hogans and things along those lines. You have your Stan Hansons and your Brodies, but like in terms of the way the Steiners were, I mean, them being that over in Japan and being able to leverage that contract for other deals in America was a huge deal at the time.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, if you don't notice, we take a big influence from them.
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit.
Well,
Just a little bit. Hey, and
transition into more comedy wrestling. Not as much, but a little bit.
my buddy who I'm going to go see in Atlanta this weekend, Rick Steiner's on the school board. He literally gave him his diploma when he graduated and shook his hand. Like it's
what?
That's pretty cool. I watched his son wrestle when he wrestled at Kennesaw State. I was working with the Middleton.
Kennesaw, Georgia, baby.
MTSU at Middle Tennessee State. His kid wrestled and played football at Kennesaw State, and so I got to watch him wrestle and coach against him a little bit. It's pretty cool. He's a big kid.
That's crazy. That's sick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Gotcha's number one with a bullet. The Steiner brothers. Miss Jessica, gold medal number one.
All right, so number one gold medal because I'm really into them right now, kind of what's happening. FTR. So Forever the Revival, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood.
At one?
Ring of what?
At one?
Yeah.
Oh, they're the number
I'm kind
one.
of obsessed with them right now.
Absolutely not a question, and for the last at least 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, like where they're at right now, like what's going on.
It's not disputable.
Like,
Oh yeah, they're right now for sure.
so like right now, I just really dig them. If Dusty Rhodes develops you gotta be like, he saw something in them, and I really am enjoying it. It might be the Southern accents, and Vince can suck it because I know he doesn't like them, and that's why, he doesn't really like that whole Southern accent making people talk in the ring and shit. But I think they're really good at their promos. They also fought the Vaudevillians a lot, which is one of my honorable mentions. I love them. I think their gimmick is adorable. If you've never heard of the Vaudevillians, check them out because they're adorable.
Yeah.
But they're as to be stated, WWE's first ever WWE Tag Team Triple Crown winners. So they've done some shit, and people can get mad and upset because it's my personal favorite, and I'm watching them right now.
There you go. I think Simon from the Vaudevillains may or may not have a connection to our special guest this week, guys.
Yeah, he's our cousin.
He wears our shirt.
No shit.
Yeah, Simon's our cousin.
And I
You
may
tell
have
him I
called one of
love
his
him.
matches before too.
And
He's a good dude.
I love
They
their
were our
gig.
church
I
owners,
love
yeah.
their shit so much.
He accused me of whipping off Jim Cornette when I was wearing a suit at Crux.
If you
It's
haven't
like, so if
seen
you wear
it was-
glasses and have a suit, you're ripping off Fournette? Okay.
You know.
Simon's chain wrestling, and we go back to chain wrestling a lot because we're both shooters, but Simon's chain wrestling is
Dude, fantastic.
Absolutely.
The match I called him versus Akira, which Akira is known as a deathmatch guy.
Yeah. That was it. That was the thing.
Dude, that was
the show.
that was a clinic.
Yeah, that was the show. We were at that show.
Oh yeah, that was a whole lot of.
Kerry Awful and AJ Gray at that show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was a goddamn slobber knocker, is what that was.
That
was
slapper around the world, right?
It was our initiation into Crux wrestling. So that's what they do. Kerry slaps the hell out of you, and that's how you get into Crux. That's
how I used to get free drinks downtown Nashville.
Hey, I can't get free drinks in Nashville.
All right. Number 1 for Jessica, FTR. Moving on to the last gold medal of the list, Mr. Wex breaking the Lawson. What do you got, buddy?
All right, coming in at number 1 for me has already been mentioned twice on. Coming in at number 1 for me has already been mentioned twice on this list, and that's the Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt Hardy. They are my original favorite tag team. Actually, the first ever SmackDown live in Nashville, Tennessee, or not live because they taped it, but the first ever SmackDown in Nashville, Tennessee, I met the Hardy Boys on Broadway after the show, got my WWF magazine signed with Jeff Hardy on like the dirt bike with no shirt. You remember that one?
Vaguely.
Yeah, classic. He signed it. It was 2000, so I was 9 years old, and that was, dude. And ever since then, Matt and Jeff Hardy fucking been my favorite tag team of all time, and literally every iteration, even their solo stuff they've done. Like you said, the broken, just like Jessica said, the broken universe, I was already back into wrestling, but dude, I was watching fucking TNA again because of that. I was like, dude, TNA, all this indie shit, Ring of Honor, New Japan, that's what that whole era of that from 2014 to 2017, 2018, really got it back in there. And Matt and Jeff, dude, just like you said, Brother Nero, I knew you'd come. Fucking classic.
It completely revitalized tag team wrestling. Them and the Bucks in that era, they completely revitalized tag. Tag wrestling was dead. So
that's why I'm hoping Jeff can get his shit together, because everybody loves Jeff Hardy. I literally don't know a wrestling fan or just a person who even knows about wrestling. You like Jeff Hardy? Yeah, of course. Everyone loves Jeff Hardy. You want to see him get his shit together, get back in there, because one more good Young Bucks Jeff Hardy feud. I mean, not Jeff Hardy, Young Bucks Hardy Boys feud would just be great. Because I like Matt Hardy, Private Party shit, whatever.
Corn Pops?
That's cool, but I want to see the Bucks and the Hardy Boys again.
I do too.
And the Hardy Boys, dude, that's tag team wrestling for me. That's my quintessential go-to WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy, even WWF Attitude. They were off in that. They've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I can dig it for sure. That's all of our top 5 tag teams. Man, you got to look at the lists here. There's going to be crossovers on any top 5, like I said, but I feel like most of our lists were relatively diverse, and everybody's definitely well-versed in it. This is the point where, Wex, if you want to take back over, we're going to move into our 2 games of the week, starting out little Who Am I? We're going to come back to the Gotch brothers here in just a minute. And
didn't you have them – they picked an indie one too, right? Weren't we going to do that?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Little reminder.
All right, indie tag teams. Shut up, Jesse.
The best independent tag team on the scene right now is not even a question, and if you have any other opinion, your opinion is wrong. The best independent tag team in the country right now is Kevin Koo and Dominic Guarini.
Hey, that's my pick too. Besides the Gotcha brothers, of course.
Oh,
but
hey,
that's the other right answer.
We'll give you a free shirt next time we see you.
I'd like some more. I already got one on now, but I'd love more great Gotch brothers wrestling merch.
Yeah, Violence is Forever. They're the 3-time IWTV Tag Team of the Year. It's really not even a question. They're stupid good. They're a dream match of ours. They're
Sup Champions, maybe
Action and Black Label Pro.
And BLP, yeah. Dude, they're racking it up, baby.
Yeah, they're crazy. Yeah, so good.
You gotta love Kevin Koo, Dominic Guarini, Violence is Forever. Gotta love them. Gotten to see those guys live multiple times. It's always a tear. Jessica?
Does Aussie Open count?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're pretty indie, right? I mean, it's like I watch them on TV, so it's like, how indie do they have to be? You know what I mean? But
You know,
so I think they're amazing. I would watch Mr. Davis wrestle from behind any day. Twitter went wild about his ass the last time he was on TV, and the man has some cakes.
Oop shoot.
Fair enough. Well, I guess that kind of plays into my pick just a little bit. I was going to go Bussy, Effie, and Allie Catch, just helping dominate. GCW has a pretty great little tag team roundabout going on right now. I mean, I love Second Gear Crew. I love everything that they're doing over there really right now. Those shows have been top notch here for a little bit, but Allie Catch has been a favorite of mine since the first time I ever saw her at a Sup show. And Effie, we actually interviewed on a previous podcast of mine. It was my favorite interview that we did on that show, the entire history of it.
Until now.
I'm sorry?
Until now.
Until now, of course. Well, this is a different podcast. So
okay.
Different
podcast.
We watched
podcast of all.
We did watch them lose their belts.
Oh yeah.
It was. I mean, live. It was a great match.
It was in Nashville.
They're great. They're a stellar tag team. They bring a lot of diversity to the table. That's a fun one too. And after putting my foot in my mouth the first time, I guess now we'll slip into some games for a second.
All right, so yes, the first game I guess that we're going to play this week is the Who Am I? So I'm basically this week's subject is OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling Alumni. And, there's been a lot of people over the years here or there that have been there. So there's a lot of choices, a lot of picks. And the way the game works is I'm going to give 3 facts, and then everybody gets 3 questions, yes or no, and then 3 guesses of who the pick is. And then after that, if no one can get it, I'll just fucking reveal it. So we'll go ahead and start it off. Jesse, do you want to start off with yours, or do you want me to go ahead and start off with mine?
I can go. I'm
okay.
Good.
All right, let's go.
I had the longest Intercontinental Championship title reign of the WWF/E in the decade of 2000 to 2009. I am a Guinness Book World of Records holder. And I have vertigo, which has famously somewhat impacted my in-ring performance. Who am I? Remember, 3 yes or no questions and 3 guesses.
Did I ever wrestle for TNA?
No.
Am I currently alive?
Yes.
Are you currently active?
Yes.
Do I work for AEW?
No. The questions also don't have to be in turns, by the way.
Was I ever a WWE Tag Team Champion?
Yes.
Was it with Rey Mysterio?
No.
Is it Randy Orton?
It is not Randy Orton.
Did I ever wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Yes.
Can I take a guess?
Yep.
Am I Shelton Benjamin?
Are.
What?
His IC title reign was 244 days. He is the 8th longest reigning of all time and was the longest reigning in that decade. And yes, apparently he has vertigo.
Wow.
Wow, I didn't know the vertigo part.
His Guinness World Record is the wrestler who won the most WWE THQ Superstar challenges.
Huh.
That's fucking
Pretty
random
specific,
as
but it's in
hell.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. Wesley, congratulations. You got it.
Shelton Benjamin, the gold standard, baby.
Woo.
That brings us to Wex. Who's your Who Am I?
All right, so I'll go ahead and start this off. During my 12 years between WWE and TNA, I never won a title with either company. I wrestled Chris Benoit in his last match ever in a losing effort. I am still active. Oh, fuck. I can't even talk right now. Goddamn. I'm trying to read my shit, and if I'm just trying to read it, it's just fucking stupid. But I'm a still active in-ring competitor today in 2022 for a major promotion. A semi-major promotion, I'll say.
Fuck.
I thought the Benoit thing would get you guys, but
It's eating my butt right now.
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
I'm not having a good feeling on this one. Did I hold a title in major promotions outside of WWE and TNA?
yes, and that's one of the ones that I wrestle for. I say it's a semi-major promotion currently.
Did they ever wrestle for AEW?
Never wrestled for AEW. Because I'm mostly known for WWE, TNA, and then where he wrestles for currently.
What the hell? Why?
Do I wrestle for Ring of Honor?
No, because that's AEW, so that doesn't count. So that question, that doesn't count. I won't let that count because Ring of Honor is AEW.
Okay, do I wrestle for New Japan?
No. It's an American promotion.
Do I wrestle for NWA?
Okay.
NWA, yes.
Do I wrestle for NWA?
Yes, yes.
Is it Elijah Burke?
Yes.
Boom, there you go.
That was a fucking. I knew the Benoit thing because that's a very fucking crazy fact.
Benoit was
It
it.
narrowed it down.
Yeah.
It's when he wrestled him in WWE ECW.
Right.
Makes sense. Well,
Boom.
shit. Congratulations, Gotch Brothers. Getting the Who Am I? I'll be got
Yeah.
All right, so
Goodness.
1 for 1. Nice.
It's Jessica who gave us our category for this week. Let's go.
Okay. Let's see. Their wrestling career spanned over 2 decades. Started out in 1988 in the AWA. Trying to think of what the last one is that won't totally give it away. And competed in Destination X in 2005.
Ooh.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Was I in ECW?
No.
Was I a WWE World Tag Team Champion?
Yes. Wait, which promotion did you say?
WWE.
No.
Or WWF.
No.
Did they wrestle in Japan?
Wait. Yes. Japan. Hold on. I gotta not have a beer before I do this.
We're a lot of tequila in, so.
Yeah, well, you guys, yeah. You know, I don't drink much.
Drink a lot.
No.
I don't know. Am I?
You said no to Japan?
Yes, no to Japan.
Hmm.
Do you want another clue?
Yeah, give us another one.
Was inducted by Eric Bischoff into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh.
The Outsiders?
No. Oh, it's a baby.
The baby on the screen right now.
Joey, do you have any?
When y'all get really close to giving up, I'll give one that should really give it away.
I'm pretty close to giving up myself.
Not Chris Candido.
Let's see. So was in TNA, AEW, WCW. Was a one-time WWF European champion.
Fuck. Who? God damn it.
You want me to give you the clue that should give it away?
Wait.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Anybody else want to guess before I do this one?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm beat.
All right. His symbol upside down is a pussy.
DDP.
DDP?
Yes. Diamond Dallas Page, yes.
That's who I thought with the Bischoff thing, but so he just wrestled for OVW, but like, gotcha. I think alumni, I believe I went a different route, but got us.
I was thinking like OVW era guys, you know, like the WWE OVW era. That's where I was going. But
I got you.
Interesting.
but there's a long, but I mean OVW is a
I mean, yeah, their alumni list is huge. I mean,
it's crazy.
I can name off a ton, and it's just like,
It's pretty gosh darn crazy, but we got them in. It's time for one of my favorites. This one's a pretty quick one. This one's called Would You Rather. Gotchas, you guys can chime in on this one too.
Uh-oh.
So, concept is, if you have $1 billion and you're about to start a wrestling company.
I don't care what it is. $1 billion? Yep.
You have $1 billion to start a professional wrestling company. I'm going to name one commentary team of two people. And then we're going to play Would You Rather, that team, and then I'm going to name four more. Okay. So you have $1 billion, going to start a wrestling company. I'm going to go with the stable team being the current WWE pay-per-view team of Michael Cole and Corey Graves, just because that's who they just appointed to be their premium live event team now. So you have $1 billion wrestling company. Would you rather Cole and Graves or Excalibur and Taz?
Excalibur and Taz.
Dude, Excalibur and Taz, they are so good and funny together. Not like I can't not choose them. They're too good.
I kind of got to go that route
Lex
too.
And Jesse.
I don't think I've ever laughed with either of the other guys. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you want to cut up. Wrestling, you're supposed to laugh, you know? Like, oh yeah, that guy's right.
And they can be serious. Like, we know they can be, but when they're funny, they're fucking funny. Like, AEW Dark is just fucking hilarious.
Hey, don't say it's hilarious. We're trying to get on AEW Dark.
No, their commentary is hilarious.
In the best way.
And if you're doing some good funny shit like you guys do, it's going to be great.
Well, Joey twerking in the ring is never
It's not funny. It's dancing.
Taz is going to be like, what's this guy doing? I don't know. Dude, they're great together. I like it.
I think Taz would turn his head and not look.
That's probably true. Michael Cole and Corey Graves or current day Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone?
Graves and Corey. Corey Graves. I said Graves and Corey. Got to Cole and Graves. Yeah, for sure.
Tony Schiavone, but man, Jim Ross is cringy lately.
Yeah.
No, like Jim Ross is only good. Like Jim Ross needs a few other people with him, and Schiavone's good with anybody else, but him and Ross solo right now at their age, nah.
I don't know. I'm probably going with Graves on this one.
Yeah, me too. Cole Graves.
I think I'm gonna have to go with biscuits and gravy too.
All right, yeah, we're once again in agreement. All right, would you rather Michael Cole and Corey Graves or Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura?
Yeah, that's not even.
Dude, if we can bring Gorilla Monsoon back from the dead to be a commentator.
Always choose resurrection over your current situation.
Yeah, and Predator is a great movie.
When HBK when they broke up, we're talking tag teams. When they broke up, Gorilla Monsoon was the highlight of that breakup.
Oh yeah, dude. The deep,
was
like
Bobby.
I got all the fucking Shawn Michaels 4-disc set, and like, dude,
I knew
that's-
he was gonna do that.
that's a
He's trying to
great
dive.
call right there.
He tries to jump through the window to get escape. But anybody with Gorilla Monsoon is a legendary commentary.
Yeah.
True.
Joey knows his wrestling history. Jacob does not.
I mean, when Joey was deployed, Joey only watched wrestling for 11 and a half months.
All right, we're gonna go. Last one: Colin Graves or Shivani and Dusty.
Dude, Shivani and Dusty, that 1997 WCW, dude, it's
He was great.
dude, we're talking about funny with Taz and Excalibur. That is like, you got the funny, the serious, but when the funny gets funny, Dusty and dude, go back and watch that. We covered it on this podcast plenty of times before and talked about how funny it was, dude. Those guys are fucking grade A, top of the line.
Yeah, I love Shivani and Dusty.
And sneaky
I will
little
say,
Bobby
you
Heenan in there too.
You didn't even mention Mauro Ranallo.
No, I didn't. And I
JBL
like Mauro.
didn't bully him out of WWE. He'd still be fantastic.
I like Mauro. Kind of trying to go with teams though that were kind of identifiable as teams. I don't know that Mauro really had like an identifiable partner as much.
He was good. He was solo.
Fair.
If he did, he probably wouldn't gotten bullied.
Yeah, he was better than everybody. That's why he got bullied.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He was really like he was one of those modern day dudes who was like on the level with like some of the classic guys.
NXT would not have been black and gold brand better than every other wrestling at that moment without him.
Oh yeah, that was, dude, that whole, like I said, that 2014 to like until it wasn't good anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, without
Agreed.
without him it wouldn't, for sure.
Cool. Well, that finishes the games portion of the show, which kind of brings us into I want to spend a few minutes with our guests here. Guys, if there's a way to get a little louder on the audio on your end, on the Gotch end,
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
wanted to talk a little bit about what you guys have been doing that you like the most, what you got coming up, so on and so forth. Like, what's the last shot that you guys did that you were just like super stoked about going in, super stoked about during, and super stoked about coming out of?
Tuesday on IWTV, Paradigm debuts. We were in a tag team gauntlet match for the titles, so that's pretty cool. We debuted on Saw Wrestling this past month. We'll be there.
Oh, Saul, yeah, that's crazy. Saul's back, dude. I love that.
Yeah,
You
we're
know,
pretty happy.
We
about
saw
that
Rich
show.
Black there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rich Black, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dude, my girlfriend still has the Rich Black T-shirt that Rich Black's either current ex or some type of girlfriend gave him, or then gave her. But yeah, it's funny. Like he's the only announcer with merch that I've ever seen. But yeah, carry on. Sorry.
So this weekend we're gonna be at KOBK in Chattanooga, hanging out with the boys. We're not on the card, but I mean it's basically a Crux Wrestling show, so we're hanging out with the boys all weekend.
What day is that? Saturday?
Saturday, yeah, 15th.
at the world famous TWE Arena in Red Bank, Tennessee, just outside of Chattanooga.
Oh.
I'm super fucking bummed not to be there.
Peter's gonna be.
I'll be driving through there on Saturday.
Oh.
But
Carrie got Luther.
Yeah, no, they changed that to Derek Neal. And then in 2 weeks we have our debut at Black Label Pro.
ooh,
Pretty hyped for that.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't announced this. It's probably just a dark match, a tryout match, but pretty hyped for it. So, and next month we're probably back at Paradigm, and then we're at Sawn again next month.
that's cool, dude. Saul used to be in Millersville, Tennessee, back in the day. Dude, used to come on Sunday nights at like fucking 2 a.m. on like WB or like
Still does.
It's
UPN,
definitely a
like
different
one of the
feel than
station.
what we're used to. When we train, we trained in those southern wrestling. There's like 2 different styles of wrestling. There's the super indies,
Yeah.
Paradigm, GCW, Black Label
Mhm.
Pro, the super indies, and then there's like the Memphis.
Then there's wrestling.
yeah, there's the wrestling, the Memphis wrestling.
Tell them
And
about
so
that match. Tell them about
Saw
that
is
show.
definitely a Memphis show. So
We get there and
100%.
say, hey,
so it's pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah.
That like I used to watch Carrie Awful on there and like other people that like we all know like back in the day like when like they didn't know the fuck I was. I was just some dude in the crowd like trying to go watch me some fucking wrestle on a Friday night.
A little inside breaking kayfabe here, dude. Memphis shows, all they do is when you're in the dressing room, all they do is you call a finish. The rest of the match is completely whatever happens. Super.
Yeah, that's why you might catch a brain buster on the concrete in Centerville, Tennessee, and have a concussion. You know,
bro. Whatever happens. So it's a culture shock. I mean, we grew up like when we trained Memphis, so it's a little. When we go to the Super Indie shows, it's a little different, but yeah, Saul's definitely Memphis show, so it's home for us. So we definitely love it.
That's the beauty of wrestling. You got so many different styles, and
so many. Crazy.
There's something for everybody. And I know some people like to hate on this style or that style, but hey, I love it all. I love to watch anything and everything that I can.
Yeah, man. Anytime you get a chance to watch Joey twerk in the middle of a ring, it's a good night.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good pop. I mean, I'm definitely gonna get a bone for that one.
All right.
All right.
Well, you guys mentioned Dark already, and I just wanted to ask outside of that for 2023 upcoming. You can name only one. You can name a couple if you want to, but what are some Gotch Brothers goals that you guys have for 2023?
Our number one goal since we started was working GCW. GCW, hands down, is the best independent promotion in the country. I mean, it's not even close.
In the world.
And we're really excited for our debut at Black Label Pro because we feel like that's a big stepping stone into getting where we want to be.
It's a big door.
But yeah, we got to hang out with Brett Lauderdale and chat with him when they came to Nashville. And actually, when they came into Nashville, that's what got us our booking at Black Label Pro. So.
Hey, all those are like interconnected. Like, when they do those collective shows, that's like one step closer.
I mean, it's anything we can do. I mean, a lot of our boys that we kind of came up with are they're getting onto those GCW shows now. We feel like with us being a tag team, we've got a little bit more ground to cover. Tag team wrestling is not the same as working singles. Singles get more opportunities than tag wrestlers do, especially with us. We don't work singles. So it's a little bit of a more difficult road, but GCW that's our main goal. If we can work there one time, we can retire and be happy.
Hell yeah, that's fucking awesome, dude.
It's a good goal.
I love some GC dub.
I see it coming. I think it's happening. I love the fact that you guys are getting a little bit closer with every little step that you're taking. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week, going down the top 5 tag teams. If you want to, as we're going out, give us a couple little plug skis on where people can buy some of that illustrious Gotch Bros merch and where they can find you guys on social media.
Yo, reach us. We do the dumbest TikToks. On TikTok, you aren't living, man. We're sacrificing our dignity just to get over. Also on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Gotch Brothers. Joey set up a merch store the other day. I don't know what
it's
it
on
is.
Bonfire.
There you go.
I mean, I just did it to see if we could sell some stuff.
Or just DM us. Joey's a merch whore.
I've got so much merch in the back of my car. We sell beer glasses now.
We got beer glasses,
headbands.
Oh, looks like you're gonna be getting some DMs coming after this podcast.
Just slide it in my DMs. Just make sure you preface that you're wanting to buy merch so my wife doesn't get pissed at me. But we're good. Merch horse.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah. Love it. Again, thank you guys so much. Find them, Gotch Brothers or Gotch Bros, all the social medias. Go find their merch store. Definitely go follow them on TikTok for some supreme wrestling entertainment and other kinds of entertainment, I am sure. Jessica, where can everybody find you on socials?
Twitter at Peggy Hillfeet, Instagram and TikTok, busty.shackleford.
What?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Busty. Yes.
Busty.
Oh.
Busty with a B. Busty.
I'm sorry.
Shackleford.
Cut in here real quick. When I was in the Marines, I was in artillery. We named our cannons 155 millimeter cannons. It's called the M777 Alpha 1 howitzers. Our cannon was named Rusty Shackleford.
Hell yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's a play on words. So pretty close.
You know.
I like it.
It works.
That, oh man, that's great.
Wex, run it down, bud.
Oh, of course, you know you can always find your boy Wex at Wex Breaking the Lawson on pretty much all your social medias. But specifically, you know, my old Wex Breaking the Lawson on Twitter got banned for me talking a little shit because I had to. So it's at Wex Lawson. The handle is the new one, the good one, the one you see us tagged in on the Kayfabe Comparisons one also. And, you know, always on the TikTok. Last week I was bullshitting because I had some extra work. But, you know, I'm off tomorrow, so I ain't got shit to do. Took the day off. I'll post some TikToks. I'll get some YouTube videos popping off. We'll be promoting heavy on the social media, so get on there, you know, engage, leave us some comments. Tell us your favorite Gotch Bros match. Tell us your favorite tag team. Tell us anything. We're going to get in there with some engagement, you know. We want to talk. We want to talk wrestling, baby, because we love wrestling. And that's why we're all here today.
That is correct. You can always find the podcast at KayfabeCom on most socials. You can find us at KayfabeCom Pod, gibberish, on TikTok. You can find me at Jesse Baker Nash, even though I don't live in Nashville anymore, on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find our absent illustrious leader, Mr. Daniel Daybreak, at Daniel Daybreak, on pretty much any social media that's ever existed since any of us were like 12 or maybe even before. And we'll be back next week. We will have surprise topics for everybody at next week's show. Thank you guys for joining us. Give it a like, a share, a follow, all that fun stuff. And we are out. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.